What's up, everybody? Are you hungry? Food on your mind? Well, I can help with food for thought. Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Culture and Cuisine. Today I will be doing another how-to. Although this week's recipe is going to be a little more complicated, I'm going to be doing a homemade marinara sauce. And the first step in this process is to peel our Roma tomatoes. Alright, so we have already peeled our tomatoes, and one thing you want to remember is when choosing your tomatoes, make sure they are Roma. It is essential to use Roma tomatoes. They're easy to peel. You can either use a peeler or you can heat them over the stove, and then once you get them warm, they'll peel pretty easily. But the next step is the fun part, and is you have to crush them. Now you can use an actual crusher, you can use a spoon, you can use a fork, but on this channel we do like to do things with our hands. We get a little messy. So you just get in there, you squeeze the tomatoes until they're nice into a pulp. And the vegetables that we are going to be adding in to our marinara sauce is, as you can see here, we've already chopped up. These are about 2 to 3 medium-sized carrots, and then in here there is 1 8-ounce box of mushrooms. The mushrooms can be any kind that you like. And then we have 2 onions. I've already chopped up one. I'm working on the next one. I promise I'm not emotional. It's just the fumes that are released from the onions. But as soon as these are done and are chopped, we'll move on to the next step. Now that we have our tomatoes, they have been crushed into a fine pulp. We're going to set those over here, and I'll put those in the refrigerator. And in the meantime, we're going to take olive oil. I have extra virgin olive oil, and I use the Clement brand. This is actually from Italy, but you can use any brand. We're going to do about 2 tablespoons. That'll work. And then you're going to put in your chopped onions and carrots. Those are both in this bowl. Brush them all over the and your box of chopped mushrooms are going to go in as well. And you're just going to let those simmer and cook until the onions are translucent. Yep, so here we are stirring our vegetables. The onions are nice and translucent. If you could smell it. It smells really good. Okay, time to add the tomatoes, which we're sitting in the fridge. Also, do not drain the tomatoes. Some people like to drain them. No, that's bad, because then it will get way too dry and mushy and almost like a tomato paste. And paste is not sauce. So just going to add those tomatoes. Going to add a little salt. Then we're going to add, of course, with salt, some pepper. And this is just to taste. You can add as little or as much as you like. I've already minced up and added the garlic, but here's this just for a visual for you. And then to top it all off, 2 bay leaves. And those bay leaves are going to come out at the very end of the process, but you're just going to mix all of those together, let that simmer for about 30 minutes, and then we'll revisit when that's done. Now that our marinara sauce has been simmering down for about 30 minutes, we're going to add the rest of our spices. And those include, we have some minced garlic, different than garlic powder, some basil, about 2 tablespoons, oregano, also around 2 tablespoons, and then cilantro. I only do about a teaspoon to maybe a teaspoon and a half of the cilantro because it has a little bit of a more potent taste, but just sprinkle all those in. And stir them up for another 30 minutes. Buongiorno. See, I'm practicing my Italian with this one because for segment 2 of this episode, if we're going to be making a marinara sauce, you're going to put marinara sauce over spaghetti, duh. And if you have spaghetti, you have to have meatballs. So, I'm going to show you how we make some meatballs. First, you get your ground beef. Then, speaking of, pause. Sorry about that, but as I was saying, we have our ground beef. We're going to add some pepper, salt, Italian seasoning, garlic powder, and something special. This comes from Lando Lakes. It is amazing. It is a Parmesan and herb mixture. It's like powdered Parmesan cheese with a few herbs and spices. It's delicious. We're going to dump all those in, mix it up with our hands, roll it into balls, and I'll catch back with you later.
Also, I forgot to mention that with meatballs, you also have to have something that's going to hold it all together, and so we always use eggs. I'm going to use 2 eggs. These are cage-free. Yours can be uncage-free, I guess, but anyway. The eggs are going to go in first, then the seasonings, then your roll. Okay, I know what you guys are thinking. This does not look like a meatball, it looks like a meatloaf. Well, hold that thought. For this is how I do my meatballs. You press it down into the pan, and then you're going to use any kind of knife and just slice it right down the middle, and then I can cut it into 4ths, and then you can cut it into 8ths, and you keep doing this until you have as many meatballs as you want, but this will guarantee that they will all be the same size. Then you can just pick up the portion, roll it into the ball, and boom, you have a beautifully, equally portioned meatball.
Alright. Meatballs are done. Look at those. Alright everyone, I'm now back at home, and as you just saw, the meatballs are now done. We've taken them out of the oven, and they only have been cooked halfway, so we're going to take the meatball. We're going to put them in with the marinara sauce. Then you're going to mix it up. And then each meatball, they're going to simmer in the marinara sauce to finish cooking, so the sauce is going to get the flavor, the meatballs are going to soak in that Italian spice, and it's going to be delicious. And here's the finished product of our day. We have the meatballs on top of the spaghetti sauce, little extra sauce, little extra meatballs, and we have some spiral garlic rolls and a salad. Yum, yum.